So yeah, Josh, how's that rash going?
Clear enough.
Alright, I'm glad I could help you. Oh, hey everybody! Welcome to My Horror, another episode with Andrew, me, and Josh. Let's do the sign. Ready? You see how synchronized that was?
I like it.
We have the synchronization of a couple swimmers in the pool. Oh boy, gotta put this back. So, Josh and I, we watched a movie that I have been wanting to see for a while. Have you heard about this one?
I hadn't heard about it until you just showed me the preview, like, right before we watched it.
Yeah, he was going to come over to the house anyways today, and we were going to watch Pumpkinhead because I had never seen that one.
Which I had seen it, so we decided to watch one we both hadn't seen.
Yeah, we're both... I'm sad at least that Halloween's done, are you?
Absolutely.
How sad are you?
Very.
On a scale of 1 to 10, Josh.
Like 15.
Okay, what the freak? Are you kidding me?
I love Halloween.
And so, but I saw that Mandy had come out. By the way, yeah, we went ahead and saw the movie Mandy. It's a movie I had heard about for a while. It was on a bunch of different websites, but it is a Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah.
Which, how do you feel about the Cage? Be honest.
I don't dislike him. Yeah, he's good. Everybody does roles that are wild. You know, I mean, some would say poor choices. I mean,
it's like, I can't tell. Was he? I think he was like hurting for money, right? I think
I don't know.
So he's been starring in all these movies. A lot of them are very crappy, but he was in a couple movies I saw. It was a few years ago. It was on one of his slew of bad movies that he was making. But Frozen Ground was really good.
I never saw it.
It's like he was a police officer hunting a serial killer in Alaska. I think it wasn't Sabotage. It was a home invasion one that he did with Nicole Kidman. And then Mandy. Honestly, I didn't know too much from watching the trailer. We knew something about someone being abducted by a hippie cult, and then Nicolas Cage and his craziness. He always looks like he's high on some sort of drug. In his craziness, he goes after this hippie cult in this it makes Kill Bill look tame. It is a very trippy fashion.
Very vivid.
Yes.
Very vivid, and everything looks like an '80s metal band cover. Like a lot of the sky and stuff like that is exactly what it looked. It looked like a lot of it should have been painted on the side of a van.
Or Or
even the axe he made. It looked like he should have been on a horse on the side of a van or something like that.
Yeah, and
that's what it should have looked like.
The whole movie. I don't know if you guys have seen those shirts that people. I guess they wear them now, but they used to wear. It was wolves on the shirt. You got the moon in the background.
Or even like Molly Hatchet cover, the cover art for Molly Hatchet. Stuff like that. It's overly grandeur. It's a lot to it, and a very vivid color.
I just thought, and it looked, but I thought it worked well with the movie.
Really well.
It felt like, you saw Drive. You said you weren't the biggest fan.
I wasn't the biggest fan, but it was a.
But visually, because Drive was Nicholas Refn, I think that's how you say his name, but he did Drive Only God Forgives, and then the new movie, The Neon Demon. It has that feel, just a very psychedelic, slow-moving A to B storyline. And so, that's what the movie felt like. Now, Josh, give me your best lowdown of the plot of this movie, without giving away the ending.
Without giving away the ending.
Or I guess we can give it away at the end, I don't know.
No. A nice, happy couple that happens to gets taken hostage by basically a hippie cult in the mid to late 80s.
Yep.
That was very drug-induced. I didn't think there was going to be that much drug reference.
A lot of drugs.
The very beginning of the movie, it sets up a nice story of the couple. I mean, they're an unorthodox couple, that type of thing. They live out in the woods, whatever.
They look like a typical heavy metal couple.
Yeah. But then it's drugs and blood. It takes a very drastic turn, and that's what we were talking about. Even when they had a lot of scenes that reminded me of Hellraiser.
Yeah.
A lot of the people, the way they were dressed, the biker gang.
That was the cult. Yeah. And so, and you already mentioned that the cult had hired out this gang.
No.
Okay, sorry. So the leader of this cult, I think it was Jeremiah, right?
Jeremiah.
But he sees Nicolas Cage's wife, who
walking on the side of the road.
Walking on the side of the road, looking looks like she hasn't had a sandwich in 3 weeks.
They casted the people in this movie so well because they had just the ability to look like crazy people.
Oh man,
like they really
insane.
did because they
Nicolas Cage
would
didn't
look
much
normal.
help.
No, he was typecast.
Yeah, no,
but they're just everybody. They would look normal, and then like that last second, like they look so evil. It might have just been like the way they made the movie and portrayed them up to it, but they cast
a lot of close-up shots. But this lady, we looked up Mandy, so she's the person that this movie is named after, Mandy. We looked her up just to see, just curious, because sometimes they make people look freaky in movies.
Yeah, scar on the face type of.
But we looked her up, and man, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, like it was very different because in the movie, like different size eyes and stuff like that. Like they did a lot of work, just on making people just look a little bit more creepy, like for the 80s.
She looked like the guy from Igor from Young Frankenstein with the eyes. not to that extent, but they made her look like that in the movie, and I felt bad for her, honestly, because she was just walking along the side of the road. This cult, traveling in their van, they happened to see her, and Jeremiah, the leader, after seeing her, he is just head over heels. He wants that lady to be a part of the cult.
Yeah.
And they hire out...
drugs her.
Oh, man, they drug her. And how they kidnap her, they hire out this kind of biker gang. They look like they were cast from Mad Max Fury Road.
If you were to, like, converge Mad Max and, like, Hellraiser. That's what it looked like.
Well, and the guy looked even crazier in this movie than Hellraiser, because remember Hellraiser, he had Pinhead, and he had all the nails in his head.
It was more like the other guy with the glasses and, like, mixed with the guy that had the... Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like.
But and these guys, like, they're not demons. There's none... Ironically enough, I don't think there's really anything supernatural.
No, it's all drug induced.
It's all drug induced,
because the biker gang used to run drugs, and then they were just, like, got so hooked on LSD and went so far out there that they loved killing people. Like it's like they apparently just love killing people.
Yeah, and they appear as monsters. They appear as demons in the movie. They even act like it, but they're not.
Even the way they summon them, it seems like they're demons, but it's like for a second they're just like, are these demons like riding 4-wheelers or like?
Yeah, it was very Lord of the Flies in that how this guy summoned this biker gang. He got out this looked like a skull or a conch, right?
Yeah, some kind of rock.
He blowed it in the wind. He's like, Josh and I were like, it was good, not great. It was the best song in the world. And then comes this like devil's biker gang. Like, you have normal biker gangs that can be scary. You have the not scary biker gangs, which is a bunch of meth heads on scooters in small Midwestern towns.
Which is funny because
you got these guys.
These were as a mix of everything.
Oh, dude, it's a total mix. And they were freaky, and so they take her, and they take her. They bring the Mandy to the cult leader Jeremiah. Things don't go his way at all. He thinks that this Mandy girl is going to love him, or that he's going to like brainwash her to fit his ideology. Doesn't work out. Drug her, plays songs that he wrote her. It's like he was like, oh man, like met her in college, just like, here's some drugs, and then listen to my songs, and then like undresses for her, and then she laughs at him. Like it's weird. It was. I mean, I would laugh if I didn't know I was going to be in danger. I would have laughed too. And here's the thing: the song that he played for Mandy to try to like help convert her to his cause wasn't a bad song. It wasn't bad. I mean. He was definitely a psychopath, but it wouldn't be a number 1 Billboard chart though. It'd be no, you know what I mean. It would be like number 3 tops. I can't comment on that. You can't. Okay. And then how did they? I can't remember what happened next with Mandy after she laughed at the. Oh, yeah, that's right. Go and explain that one. I don't feel like I can do it justice. They string him up with barbed wire, and they put her in a bag and basically hang her and burn her in front of him. And it was... You can hear the crackling, too. It was not... And they were enjoying it way too much, and it was wild. And that's what sets Nicolas Cage on this entire rampage. Like, they left him for dead. They had barbed wire wrapped around his mouth, wrapped around his hands. Yeah. Like, I mean, handcuffs would be bad enough, but barbed wire, that looked painful. Yeah. I mean, it's a movie, right? So obviously he's fine. He's fine. Nicolas Cage is okay. As far as... But when he gets out of it, Like that's when the whole movie like.
Oh, I forgot about that. He just starts drinking himself and just screaming.
Drinks and screams with his wide eyes, like
just bleeding all over the place.
Yeah.
Screaming and drinking. It was
and I had no idea that Nicolas Cage was such a blacksmith.
They portrayed him that way in this movie. I mean,
it probably wasn't his hands. But like, no, he made this massive axe. Would you call it an axe? It was like a pickaxe a little bit.
Yeah, it had a weird shape to it, but I don't know enough about it. But yeah, he basically made an axe, like an oversized axe. And
he uses it and just goes to town on the. He starts off with the biker gang with all those LSD-induced biker gangs, gang members. There you go, and he picks them off, and then he
crossbow.
Gets the Oh man, he gets the crossbow. He uses his
axe with a
spear at the end. Oh, you find out a lot of things about that thing.
And then you have the chainsaw battle.
Oh yeah, that's right. What do you think about that?
A lot of this movie, a lot of the kills, it reminded me a lot of Hatchet.
It did feel like Hatchet.
Yeah, a lot.
If Hatchet was high on something.
Exactly. If you were in the 80s and you had drug induced, but even then, like I feel like Hatchet, it was a lot more graphic.
For sure, yeah.
But that's what I loved about Hatchet.
Hatchet was like graphic for being graphic's sake, which
it did
practical effects, and I loved it for that.
It was, and we've talked about this a lot. That's why I like a lot of the older movies because of the practical effects. And then that was. I don't want to talk about another movie while we're doing this one, but that movie was great.
Oh no,
if you haven't
sure.
seen it, go see Hatchet.
But that's why this one's so good too. I don't think they used any special effects other than the psychedelic.
Yeah.
But I feel like that was more just when you see in a movie that. The entire frame of the movie is like in some sort of haze. Yeah, tracers.
Yeah, they did a lot of tracers, and then like it was like the tracers in the sky. It was mostly just the drug stuff that they did.
Yeah.
That looked that had that feel to it that it was computer generated, but it almost had to be because it's not natural.
Right.
They meant it to not be natural. Everything else was just like even like the costumes of the motorcycle gang. All that was all hand done, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Cool. It was This movie looked gorgeous. Like I know we're talking about how insane it was with the Hellraiser costumes and everything.
Yeah.
But it looked good.
It looked really good. It's just.
It.
I'm even me being colorblind. I noticed the color palette.
You're colorblind?
Oh yeah.
Oh. Keep going.
But that's the thing. Like even me being colorblind, I noticed that it was such an odd color palette. Like it was so vibrant that I could still catch a lot of that. And it was and even the location that they chose. Like they did a lot of very nice shots location-wise. It was a very nice looking movie.
This is true. I did. Yeah. No, it acted absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
really good.
What would you say your favorite part of the movie was?
Probably when he crushed that guy's head with his bare hands.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, that's right. I'm excited about it.
I like that. I like the horror movie. I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
There was a very different, like, it's a movie you have to kind of surrender yourself to, and just like, but not, like, you almost have to be actively trying to just be like, I want to be in this movie type of thing. Like, you have to really give yourself up to it instead of just being a little more passive about it and just being like, oh, well, this thing, you can make jokes about it, stuff like that, but like, if you...
Which we did. Yeah. A little bit. I mean, but that's how we watch movies.
Most of that was just, like, script, though.
Definitely.
It was mostly just, like, it was mostly verbal. It wasn't about, like, how the movie was shot or how it looked.
Oh, no.
But with most horror movies, you have lines like that where it's like, that line is just funny for funny's sake, and I think it's funny, but the scene still looked good. But that's most horror movies.
I'll tell you what, if they make a calendar for this movie, like with a bunch of pictures on it, I would hang that up in my house.
Down
here. Yeah. No, it wouldn't be up in the kid's bedroom, let's just say that.
With a kid on the way in the new nursery.
Yeah. Well, I like the part, there was a scene where Nicolas Cage, is after he goes and he's like tackling the biker gang members off, and I think he just killed the one that was in the house, right? And I don't do drugs. We are proud members of DARE, right?
I don't know about that, but
yeah, well, whatever, yeah. But I've never done drugs before, but holy monkey, this makes it look terrible.
A lot of terrifying
drugs. But there was a scene, and it's not that I like that he was doing drugs, but it's what happened after he did. He got the glass.
Or who drank out of the jar.
There's that. That came right after, but they had like cocaine or meth. Again, I have no idea because I don't do drugs. But he got this like, I think it was cocaine.
Broken glass.
Broken glass. He got some cocaine on it. That was a part of the biker gang members' stash. He traced it up there, and then you see Nicolas Cage's eyes go. Like,
the classic Nicolas Cage, like on the verge of like mentally breaking down.
Can you give your best Nicolas Cage impersonation?
I can't. I can't do it justice. He looks like that through so many of his movies. He has that point where you think he's going to lose his mind.
And then after that, he finds the LSD that these biker gang members had become acquainted with.
Yeah.
And he barely, I think he put his pinky in there.
Yeah.
He barely licks it. Barely.
Yeah.
And then something's like, and like the whole movie just goes into this whole Raiders of the Lost Ark melting imagery and
mixed in with like almost like Fight Club whenever he's burning his hand and just it flashes stuff, face melting, screen burn. It was a lot of.
It had a lot of this movie was a lot of fun. I would watch it again. It is 2 hours long. That is one small gripe we had with this.
It was a lot. It's a lot to take in. It's something. It's the first thing I said after we got done watching. It's like I'd have to watch this again because there was so much visually to take in that I don't think I paid enough attention to a lot of the rest. It's a lot to take in. So I'd almost watch it again because
for sure, yeah.
It's a revenge movie. It has a lot to it. But at the core of it, it's a revenge movie. Yeah, it's a cult movie. It's a drug-based movie. There's there's a love in the beginning of it. Yes, hippie cult, but
yeah,
there is a lot more visually, I think.
Well, and I feel like the visuals, the psychedelic visuals, really worked on me in a way too because, and we were paying attention. We were paying attention to the movie, but with all the imagery, it's almost like it's warping your mind. It felt like a Pink Floyd music video. Where it was warping your mind a little bit. So I found, at least for me, when I got lost in the imagery, I kind of got lost in the story just a little bit. And I don't mean like I became a part of the story, but like when I was watching some of the imagery, like I would forget what's going on because I'm so into
I noticed that like happening. Even whenever they're showing their cabin, it's just being for the time era and stuff like that, they put so many little things in it. I usually check out a lot of the background in a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
And it had a lot of that. Like I mean a lot of it was scenery, it was outdoors, but even just like the church at the end, like the underground tunnel, stuff like that, like they put a lot of thought into that type of thing. Did. So I paid attention to a lot of the background in this movie because you can tell just from the colors that they used and just from the way that they shot it, like you can tell that they really chose them with to convey a certain to convey the scene.
Yeah, for
sure.
So
like I paid a lot more attention to the background. So like I think I would pay attention to more of like the costumes being that it's the 80s, like more of the now that I know it, the drug reference and stuff like that, I might pay attention more to like the cult aspect of it and stuff like that, because there's a lot you do miss because there's a certain camaraderie that you're paying attention to the main character and his revenge at this point, and there's a lot of other characters that like if I watch it again I might pay attention a bit more to that because you're taking so many different things from an era that is foreign to a lot of people, especially young people watching this horror movie because we were very young in the 80s, that type of thing. But it's just like there's a lot to it.
I would be picking up more as I watch this the second time. I feel like, and it's a movie that I feel subsequent viewings, you can watch it while you're doing something else, and whenever you look at the TV, like it just looks gorgeous. Like it is a very like visually pleasing movie.
Yeah.
And so I tossed the thing down. But do you have any final thoughts on this little ditty?
I would say if you can.
Yeah, I bought this on Blu-ray. It's $14 at Walmart. I thought that was a steal. But
there's, especially with horror movies nowadays, if you can, I don't want to say that if you can really surrender yourself to something and just treat it as art.
Yeah.
And not, I mean, it's one thing to then watch it and then poke fun at it. I mean, I do that all the time. I watch some of the older horror movies and it
might be a defense mechanism. I don't know. Sometimes I do that.
Yeah, So. We all do that, but like. For viewing's sake, usually when first time I watch something, if I can, there are some movies that are so bad you can't help but do that.
Yeah.
And I will say that they're out there, but like for something like this, even we joke about Nick Cage, but like some people wouldn't watch it just because of that. If you can just kind of get away from that a little bit.
He was good. He was very good in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
I have my faith in Nick Cage has been. I still think he's going to do a bunch of those smaller movies like he's been doing.
Yeah.
But just because they're smaller movies and you don't really hear about them or they don't go into theaters doesn't mean they're bad, because this is a winner right here. I mean,
so many movies were like that. I mean, we were talking about Pumpkinhead before this.
Pumpkinhead. We will watch that.
It's just, but that became a cult movie. You don't know what's going to become a cult movie. Like sometimes when stuff comes out, it's people are like, oh, that movie's terrible. But then later, you get more of that following too. And you're like, oh, this movie's wonderful. So it's just like create your own thought about it.
Yeah.
Just
watch it. Go get it at Walmart. And like you said, I couldn't have said it more perfectly. You got to surrender yourself to it a little bit. Surrender to the cage.
Yeah, just
enter the cage.
Immerse yourself into it. That's the one thing with horror. Like, we're in a basement right now. Like, that's what we do. We turn the lights off. You watch these horror movies. Everybody wants a different. Yeah. Everybody experiences it differently. But for somebody like me, I like to immerse myself in it. That's why I enjoy it.
All the lights off. Everything.
Halloween candy.
It was special for me as it was for you. But I think to end this video, let's give him the Nick Cage eyes. See you guys.